Hi everybody, it's Julie with Just Julie and doing a little check-in. I did start my whole raw thing last Thursday. Today I'm filming on a Wednesday, so not quite a full week. I'm down 1.5 pounds, so that's exciting for me. And of course, I hear a new report that comes out, and don't you just love reports? And it came out and said raw food diet out of like 30 diets was the #2 worst diet to ever do. The last one was, believe it or not, the paleo diet, which I'm shocked. So anyway, I kind of listened to those with a grain of salt, like, okay. I mean, I'm doing the raw food diet the best I can, and I'm not so rigid about things. I think I mentioned that before. Like, I don't mind having frozen fruits in my smoothies. I'm totally fine with that. So anyway, I'm just doing what works for me and just trying to exercise and stuff like that. I feel like I'm kind of coming down a little with something, so I haven't been exercising as much as I wanted to, but I'm also trying to listen to my body, and it's feel like it's kind of telling me to slow down a little bit and rest. So I'm doing that. And I'm also been a little chilly, so anyway, hence the coat. So I thought it would be fun to do a recipe with you guys today. So we are going to be making marshmallows. Doesn't that sound like fun? I've always wanted to do them. I've seen videos on making them, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is take a 9x13 pan, and you're going to line it with tin foil and spray it with a spray, non-stick spray adhesive. Not adhesive, non-stick spray. And what I did was just olive oil. I have one that I got from Costco, and I fill up my own little olive oil and I put it in here. So that's it. So we're going to set this off to the side now and then start with our KitchenAid mixer. Alrighty, for our next step, I've got my KitchenAid mixer. You don't have to do it with the KitchenAid mixer, but there's a lot of mixing involved and your hand would probably get a cramp otherwise. But I'm just telling you, I think it's easier with the KitchenAid mixer, but you could do it other ways. So what you do is you take 2.5 tablespoons of gelatin, unflavored gelatin. So this is what I've used. So here is the 2.5 tablespoons of this. Put that in there, and 1/2 cup of cold water. So you put that in there, and you're just going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. So we'll go on to start making the marshmallows over by the stove area. Alrighty, so I've got my heat going on medium heat, and I am going to add 1/2 cup of water, and to that I'm going to add 1/3 cup light corn syrup, and this is different than the high fructose corn syrup, so just letting you know that. It's not as bad for you, and I've heard other people say with the recipe they've tried it with other things and it's just not the same, so it really does need this light corn syrup. So I put that in there. I did spray this with a little bit of non-adhesive or a little of that olive oil spray in there just so that it would come out easier. The next thing that you're going to do is 2 cups of sugar. You're going to add that right to the center to kind of avoid crystallization on the sides. Important thing is going to be not to stir this, and you kind of just shake this. So, and I'm not sure why that is, but that is what I've read and saw, so I'm just trying to be mindful of that. And this is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to let this all melt in this pan and then shake it. It'll go for 8 to 10 minutes, and you need to use a candy thermometer, and when you reach 240 degrees is when you pull it off. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it reaches 240 degrees. I've just turned off the stove now, so I just kind of want to give you an idea of what it looks like. So I am going to show you now what we do with the mixing bowl. Okay, so this is where we put our initial gelatin and 1/2 cup of water, and that's been sitting while I've been cooking this other mixture. So you just kind of want to turn this on low just to kind of mix up the little gelatin and water a little bit in there. And next we're going to slowly stir in our little heated up marshmallow mixture here. And I can't remember, I think I might have said to do this for 8 to 10 minutes, but it's 6 to 8 minutes on the mixture that it took for me to make this all, this liquidy consistency and make sure all the sugar melt properly and the corn syrup melted properly in there. So it said to do it slow, and you're slowly going to incorporate it, and then you will turn up the speed onto this, and it'll roughly take about, they're saying like 10 minutes to mix all this up. So we're just going to keep going, and I'll intermittently show you what this looks like after about 5 minutes and then 10 minutes. Okay, here's a quick check-in. This is about 5 minutes in. You can still see it dripping from here, so definitely not ready, but it has turned now from the clear color and it's starting to turn white. So I'm pretty excited to see this all come together. So I'm going to keep mixing it for about another 5 more minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, this is going about 10 minutes on a high and you can see how stiff the marshmallow is now. I did just add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. I'm just going to mix this in here. And then I'll come back and we'll start adding this to our grease pan that we have. Alrighty, and this is the next step. I have all the marshmallows incorporated and I did spray this little spatula. And what you do is you keep this going and mixing until the outside of your, like I have a metal one. The one I saw in a video was in a glass one, but this is a metal one, and you just kind of, so it's just kind of warm to the touch. So it really has cooled down from the hot boiling item that we put into here. So I'm just going to add this, and she said don't worry about getting every last drop out of there because you do need to work really quickly. So make haste and get this all spread out into here as quickly as possible. And I've been told these are amazing and that these don't even compare to the store-bought ones. So I'm really excited to give these a try and see what these taste like. You do need to let them cool overnight. So what I'm going to do is finish this off here. And that looks really good to me. We're going to leave it like this. And then you are supposed to dust it with a little bit of powdered sugar. So I'm going to take this off here. And maybe just a couple little taps to kind of flatten that down there. And now what I'm going to do, I have a half a cup of powdered sugar and a half a cup of cornstarch right here. And I am going to sift this on top of here. So let me grab my sifter real quick. Okay, so I've got my sifter here. And I'm just going to add some of this mixture of half cup cornstarch, half cup powdered sugar. And you're just going to dust the top of this like this. And then what we're going to do is cover it and then leave it overnight. So, and I've got a cover that's this. So I'm just going to leave this all covered, let it sit overnight, and then we'll come back and finish the rest of it. Okay, everyone, so I took it out of the 9x13 pan. This has been cooling and getting firmer since yesterday. I did take a little piece out last night and had some with my husband. And it's really sticky on the tin foil, so it's a good thing that you do spray it. I've taken it off one piece of tin foil and transferred it just for ease of this video. But, yeah, it's pretty sticky. I mean, you can see it's still sticky onto here. So I'm just going to peel this part off, and then I'll show you what we do with the rest of this here. All right, so there's that. And now what you do is you're going to take some of this cornstarch and powdered sugar mixture, and you're just going to put a little bit onto here. You know, when they said a half a cup and a half a cup, that seems really a little excessive for me. I would probably say a quarter and a quarter, but that's just me. So I'm just going to sprinkle this all the way around. And now I've got my knife here, and with my knife, I have sprayed it with that same olive oil spray adhesive. You could use canola oil or whatever oil you have in a little spray, some Pam spray or something like that. It just helps it so it doesn't stick as much to your marshmallows here. And if you sense it sticking, then go ahead and spray it again. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do now. You're just going to cut it into bite-sized pieces here, or pieces that'll go into your cocoa if you want, or you could do these with s'mores, which would be super yummy. So I'm just going to kind of cut it into little chunks, like about yay big. So I'm doing this, and I'm going to finish it up here, and then I'll show you what the next step is so that you can know kind of how to put this together. It's really simple. So now, all what you do is you get your sifter here, and you put about 3 or 4 of them in, and you're going to add your powdered sugar over to the top of it, or you could put this in a little bowl, or if you want to just put it in here like this. This might make more sense, so let's just dip them in here for now. Obviously, make sure your hands are washed. I know you didn't see me wash my hands, but my hands were washed before I did this. So you're just going to dip this into the bowl here, and then you're going to take your strainer here, your sifter, and you're just going to keep kind of pat it down just a little bit to get off the excess onto there. And that's it. So these are your tiny little, well, big marshmallow squares. And these are super bouncy, fun, yummy. And I think these would be a fun treat to make with the kids. And like I said, you can do s'mores with it. You can put it in hot chocolate. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video and have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.